Okay, so today we're focusing on the hands, the wrists, the arms, the shoulders, the neck. We'll certainly get some lower body work in as well, but spending some time on some, we use our hands all day, but we often don't work with them in all the ways we could in yoga. So that's what we're after today. You can start lying on your back in Shavasana. Let's start with the palms facing down here in Shavasana. Letting the whole body drop, sink, settle, spread, surrender. Breath breathing you. And then just notice, bring your awareness to your hands, your wrists, your arms. And notice how much space there is underneath each wrist. And if it differs from side to side. Like maybe one thumb peels away from the ground more than the other. And see if you can sense any activity along your forearms, like maybe a pulsing or a vibration. Maybe not. Just notice what you notice there. I'm going to start right in here. Fingers and hands stay relaxed. The palms are facing down. The arms are alongside the body. And we're just going to lift one arm a few inches off the ground and pause for a moment. And then lower the arm down. Other side, just lifting the arm a few inches off the ground. This isn't, a workout, it's a work in. Releasing the arm to the ground. Let's do that one more time each side. Remember, your hand and your fingers are relaxed. It's just a few inches, and we're noticing maybe some subtle or not so subtle sensations. Could be all the way up to the shoulder and the neck. Releasing the arm down. Other side. Let's actually go a couple more times and imagine you're a puppet, or your arm is a puppet, and the puppeteer has a string attached to your elbow. So you're going to lift a little bit more from the elbow, just a slight difference perhaps. Same essential movement, and then release down. Same idea. So it's almost like the rest of the arm dangles. I'm not bending or lifting the elbow excessively up toward the ceiling. Release the arm down. Let's go one more time each side. So the hand could even be droopy here, the wrist droopy. Other side. We're not just doing it and getting it done. We're noticing what's arising, where we're holding, how we're breathing. Release the arm down. And then lift both arms, just one time, both arms, same idea. And let the arms come back down to the ground. Feel the weight of the arms here. Notice if your hands are cold. Sense into the shoulders. And now bring your arms into cactus. So elbows are bent at about 90 degrees. Elbows are about in line with the shoulders. And then we'll lift the arms again, just a few inches away from the ground. Hands and fingers are relaxed. Release the arms back down. Let's try again. Notice if the hands are lifting more than the elbows. See if you can do the opposite. So again, that puppeteer visual might help, like you're lifting from the elbows. And you can even add a little more lift of the elbows relative to the hands. So this is external rotation of the shoulders. Release the arms back down. Really let the arms go here when you bring them down. One more time, bringing the arms up. It's just a few inches off the ground. Notice if your habit is to drop the elbows, lift the hands. Many of us, our default is internal rotation, so we have to work for more external. And then bring the arms back down to the ground. You can leave them in the cactus, or you can open them out to a T. And let's plant the feet. Let's go for feet a little wider than hips. And windshield wiper the legs side to side. Go slow and be intentional, like you're moving through something thick rather than going fast, like the setting on your windshield wiper blades. Go slow. It's almost like that delay setting. Or like the windshield wipers are malfunctioning and they're going slow as they draw across the windshield. And then let's add a little lift of the opposite arm. So as legs go one way, opposite arm lifts a few inches off the ground. Again, it could be T or cactus arm. Have that same sense of initiating the lift a little more from the elbow. The hands and the fingers relaxed. One or two more times side to side. Always feel welcome to pause anywhere, but particularly at the end range, it can be interesting. By end range, I don't mean we're forcing all the way to our absolute edge, just that comfortable place where the body's like, that's enough for now. And then once you're back to center, you can keep the feet planted or slide the legs out straight, completely up to you. Let's bring the arms down alongside the body again with the palms facing down. And then keep the whole arm on the ground and just flex at the wrists. So it's like you're making a stop sign with your hand. Let's just do one at a time. So the fingers will point up and the palm faces away from you. And the forearm is still on the ground. And then relax and do the same thing on the other side. Arm is down. Lift the hand away from the floor. Fingers point up toward the ceiling. One more time, separate hands separately. Really pull your fingers back toward your shoulder. Fingers can be together or spread. That's an interesting inquiry, potentially. And then a couple times do both arms at the same time. This might give you a little opportunity to compare one hand, one wrist working differently than the other. Letting the hands rest down. One more time. And then we'll add the opposite end. So for this one, we'll make fists, thumbs on the outside, and keep your elbows down. Drag your knuckles toward your elbows, and then roll the hands forward. So the arms now will lift off the ground, but it's only because you're rocking to send the knuckles forward. I'm feeling that stretch through the top of the wrist and the top of the hand. And then let's make it like a vinyasa. So we'll bring the forearms down, pull the fingers back, make that stop sign, really work the end range here. That comfortable, pain-free range of motion. Tuck the knuckles under with fists and then roll forward. Let's go back and forth a few more times. If you want, you can coordinate movement with breath. Maybe you inhale when you flex and exhale and to extend. Notice if the fingers won't stay in the fists when you roll them forward. Couple more times. And then just letting the hands rest comfortably. So this would be good to do, all this wrist work, really all of us, because we work with our hands. But if you're on a computer or on your phone, gardening, knitting, all this would be a good reason to practice more often. So now the palms stay down, and we're going to make a lateral movement here. So the palms stay down, and we're turning the fingers away from the body. So it's not coming from the upper, it's not coming from the arm at all. So it's just a little movement outward and then inward. Yeah, so once you get the idea, I'm just doing it in the air so you can see it, and then do it on the floor. So when the fingers move away from each other, you get a lot more range for most of us than fingers moving in toward you. Go side to side. Try to keep the forearms as they are so they're not doing it. It's just the wrist doing the motion. Go slow, go a few more times. Side bend for the wrists, essentially. Try to keep the hands completely flat. So the body will find as many ways as it can to do it for you by moving the arms, by distorting the hands. So see if you can just keep the hands flat. You might not get as far, but that's okay. We're trying to isolate the wrists. Last one. And then allow your hands to rest. Arms still by your sides here From palms down, rotate palms to face up and keep rotating in that direction. So this is external rotation from the shoulders. So palms up need not be the end. It could be, but you could start to rotate your palms face away from each other, away from you, and the thumbs point down toward the floor. Some of you can keep going a little bit further. And then reverse. So from palms up, go to palms down and keep rotating. So palms face out with thumbs down, and the shoulders will start to curl up away from the floor toward the sternum. And go back and forth here. Try to really make it happen in the shoulder. So we could really pop the chest up toward the ceiling. I know my spine wants to do that in order to externally rotate the shoulders, but that's not external rotation of the shoulders, that's back extension. So make it happen with the shoulders and try to keep everything else quiet. We do this one more often with the arms at a T. If you've taken this class a lot. Let's pause either with palms down or up. And then right arm externally rotates as left arm internally rotates. So the left shoulder will lift off the ground, and you almost feel like you're kind of leaning to the right a little bit as a result. And then same thing, other side. Right arm internal, left arm external. It's really shoulder, not arm, but the arm is following. So both arms are rotating in the same direction, essentially, to the right and then to the left. Your head might go along for the ride. You can let that happen if that feels better for your neck. One or two more times. Notice where you feel the sensation. So for me, I'm feeling it a lot in my forearms. And then gradually coming back to center. Let's palms down again. Notice what you notice. And now palms are down, hands on the ground pretty much. The fingers will lift a little bit. Let's just spread the fingers away from each other as much as you can. And then make fists and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as much as you can. Again, repeat a few times here on your own. You can pause at your end range for a little bit, or you can make it more of a vinyasa. Inhale, really stretching that palmar fascia, and exhale, squeezing fists. Thumbs are on the outside. One more time. And then just letting the hands rest. Let's plant the left foot and take the left arm out to a T. Now we'll combine some hip movement with our external rotation. And so rock to the inner edge of the left foot. And as you do, if you start with palm up, then the thumb rotates to point down, the palm points back behind you, and you keep going in that direction. And then as the leg comes back to vertical, the arm comes back to neutral. Let's do that a few more times. Rock to the inner edge of the foot. Push the inner edge of the foot into the ground as you externally rotates. The shoulder blade will feel like it tucks down the back. Of course, we don't want to neglect the hips in this hand, wrist, arm, shoulder focused class. So push the inner edge of the foot into the ground, reach the knee away and squeeze left glute. You could look toward the hand as it's rotating. You could do the movement on the inhale or the exhale. Couple more times on this side. And then whenever you finish up that one, set up for the other side. Left leg straight, right foot planted, right arm out to a T. Rock to the inner edge of the foot. Externally rotate the shoulder as you do. And then back to center. So really feel how the shoulder moves down away from the ear and the shoulder blade slides down the back. If it feels like the shoulder's lifting up, you're probably internally rotating. So we want to go the other way today. Active through the right leg. Push the inner edge of the foot into the ground. Squeeze the right glute and drive the knee away from you toward left foot-ish. Couple more times on this side, externally rotating the shoulder. And at the end of that one, whenever it is for you, you can drop back into Shavasana. And notice what you notice. Tingling, pulsing, breath. Let's plant both feet. Take both arms out to a T. Let's start with palms up this time. And then let's individually internally rotate. So from palm up, we rotate palm down. Keep going in that direction. Thumb points down, palm faces back behind you. Maybe eventually the palm faces up. So the shoulder lifts away from the floor and kind of rotates inward, internal rotation, go figure. And then unwind and do the same thing on the other side. Internally rotate. Always working within your pain-free range of motion. So that might mean just barely rotating. That's okay. We want to keep moving even joints that are kind of unhappy, just comfortably, so there's still circulation and information going to the joint. Go a few more times here on your own. I'll be quiet so you can really look inwardly. Once more, each side, depending on your pace. Pausing when you get there with arms to a T, feet planted wider than hips. Now let's combine windshield wiper with external and internal rotation. So let's all start together, knees drop to the right, left arm externally rotates, right arm internally rotates. So we already did windshield wiper with the external rotation. We're just adding the opposite arm internally rotating. So your arms might feel like kind of corkscrewish. And you can rotate your head in either direction. Legs go one way. That side arm internally rotates, other arm externally rotates. And then after your second side, come back all the way to Shavasana. Let's keep the legs straight and activate the legs. So toes point up. You can keep feet hip width or bring them together. Firm your knees, firm your thighs. Feet are flexed. Interlace your hands over your chest. Inhale, press the palms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, arms overhead. Moving with the breath here. So inhale, arms come back up to the vertical. You can reach the arms away from you a little more. Feel the shoulders lift away from the floor. And then exhale and arms overhead. Try not to pop the ribs up when the arms come overhead. We're focusing on the shoulders here and not letting the spine do the work for the shoulders. One more time. Inhale, arms up toward the ceiling, vertical. Exhale, arms overhead. And then bring your arms back up to the vertical. Bend the elbows. Switch the interlace of the hands. And let's repeat. So legs are still firm and active. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, overhead. Here's an opportunity for a full body stretch. Couple more times on your own, moving the arms. And then you can bring the arms back to vertical, down alongside your body, resting here in Shavasana. Let's plant the feet again. Take arms out to a T. Now I'll work a little bit more with the shoulder blades in particular. So reach one arm away from you. That shoulder blade moves away from the spine. And at the same time, draw the other shoulder blade in toward the spine. So protraction for the reach and retraction, like you're plugging that arm in deeper into the shoulder socket. And same thing now in the other direction. So both shoulder blades glide in the same direction. Head is passive here. Keep going. This is subtle work potentially. Opportunity to fine tune awareness. Okay, gradually make your way back to center, arms to cactus. And then the pelvis stays on the ground here. We're going to draw the left side of the pelvis up toward the left shoulder. So you'll feel a little side bend happening. Or another way to think about it that we more commonly do is reaching that right knee away from you. But maybe you can find it by drawing the side of the pelvis up rather than reaching the other knee away. Alternating, so it's a little sideways, it's a little side motion of the sacrum is another way to think about it. So imagine you could bring the left side of your pelvis closer to the left ribs, left side of the rib cage. And then same on the right side. A few more times. This might feel nice in the lower back, but go slow because it might be a lot for the lower back. Come back to center. Exhale, press the lower spine into the floor. Inhale, and find a little back bend so there's a gap between the lower back and the floor. You can exaggerate your lumbar curve. Go back and forth. Lower back, cat-cow. See if you can include more of the abdominals on the exhalation. So rather than just going down from one point, try to go down from the whole abdominal wall, below the ribs, above the hips, to the right and the left of the navel. One more time, mobilizing the sacrum, the pelvis, moving the spine. Come back to neutral spine. Bring your arms alongside your body. You can do palms up or down, up to you. Let's take feet wider than hips again. Windshield wiper your knees over to your left and slide your right hand toward your right foot. It's okay if that other leg, your left leg, ends up dropping onto your hand. No big deal. Coming up through center, knees drop to the right. Slide your left hand down toward your left foot. And you could slide the other hand out of the way if it's getting in the way of your leg. Side to side here, you can look toward the arm as it slides away from you to incorporate the neck. Let's add a little elevation of that reaching arm. So slide it away from you. And then when you can't slide it anymore, just lift it a few inches off the ground. And then place it back down. Same thing, other side. So like we began, you can keep the hands and the fingers relaxed. If you want to be more active, you could spread or reach through the fingers. That might be nice here. Really reach through this knee as well. About one more round. And then eventually come back to center, still keeping the feet planted. Open the arms back out to the T. Okay, for this one, we're going to end up brushing one hand all the way to the opposite hand. Okay, so let's just start with that movement. You can bring your right hand to the right side of your chest and brush your hand all the way across the chest, down the arm to the fingers, maybe even past the hand. So for now, do whatever you want with the arms. Let's try that on the other side. Hand, elbow bending, and then brush the hand all the way down to the opposite hand. And then let's try dropping the knees as well on purpose. And so you're gonna roll onto your side here. You might even end up rolling all the way to your forehead. Side to side. So knees are going in the same direction as the arm that you're brushing. Hopefully this one feels pretty good. I see a lot of times people like don't want to actually put their hand on their body. So let's try to do that. Little lymphatic brushing. I'm going to apply a bit of pressure. A couple more times each side. Might feel really nice to let that hand outrun the bottom arm. Get a little more opening for the upper back. Last round. Head is heavy. Eventually make your way back to center. Feet planted, now hip width apart. Hands interlace behind the head at the bottom of your skull. Keep your head and your arms as heavy as you can. For side scrub, so side bend to the left elbow slides down toward left hip. Feel the stretch through the right side, and then take it over to the other side. Side to side, go slow. Try not to shift the hips. We did already plenty of windshield wipers. So try to keep the pelvis down and the hips centered. Pelvis neutral. Breathe into the opening you're creating. Slide back to center. We'll revisit that. Spinal undulation. So with your inhalation, exaggerate your lumbar curve and press your arm bones down. And then exhale, lift your head, curl up, squeeze the elbows together. Find your rhythm. Let's add opening the jaw on the inhale. Really open the jaw on the inhale. The next time, curl up, stay up and tack side to side. Just a small little bit off the midline. Again, the hips aren't moving. We're isolating a mini rotation. in the spine. And then back to center and down. Take a breath here. Okay, now we're going to combine the side scrub with that spinal undulation. So the last two movements we did now joining together. So let's inhale and side bend to the left elbow toward left hip. Exhale, curl up both elbows toward left hip. Inhale back to center and then side bend to your right. Right elbow toward right hip. Exhale, curl up both elbows toward right hip. Keep going here. So whatever direction you side bend to is the same side that you end up curling up to. Pelvis isn't moving. I mean, it might be, you can get that anterior and posterior tilt, but try to minimize the pelvis moving from side to side. Side bending, then curling up. You might have to really stick that side of the sacrum that you're moving away from to the ground when you come up. One more round or thereabouts. And then whenever it fits into your flow, release to Shavasana. Okay, let's roll. Please lie on your left side. Bottom leg straight, top foot planted, bottom arm is a pillow. Let's take hold of the wrist and tug for traction. Breathing here. And let's switch it now. So let's take the upper hand to pull the thumb side of the lower hand. So we're kind of like getting that meaty part and the webbing between the thumb and the index finger. So if you're on your left side, grab with your right hand, grab that part of your left hand and see if you can kind of traction there. Meaty part of your left thumb and webbing between the index finger and thumb. Tug. Head is heavy. Release. Feel free to reconfigure this bottom arm. You can prop your hand, your head with your hand, or you can bend your elbow. So right hand is out in front of you just for support. And let's do a little Baddha Konasana slide with the bottom leg. Slide your knee toward you and then away from you to straighten the leg. See how close you can bring your knee up to your chest so you get this deep flexion of the hip without bringing the leg up into air. Work with gravity. Long floor sequence today. And then next time leg is straight, let it stay straight. If you bent your bottom arm, can you straighten it again so that it's underneath your head? And then from here, we're going to roll onto our belly. So this right leg is still in Baddha Konasana. And you can bring your forehead down to the ground. And maybe slide this right knee a little further away from you. And then we're going to use the right hand. We're going to go back and forth between this side lying. So bring your right foot to the ground behind the left leg. And you can even kind of lean it back a little bit. So we feel that maybe in the right adductor, inner thigh, groin area. And then go back and forth. So roll onto your belly, forehead coming down. Slide your right knee away from you. And then plant the foot. Angle the knee a little bit more back behind you. Try to keep your head as heavy as you can. Back and forth here. My right hand is definitely helping the transition. Couple more times. Okay, and then next time you plant the foot, you can just straighten your leg and roll onto your right side. Let's start with the bottom arm straight, the top foot planted back behind you. We'll start where we normally do, holding the top wrist with the bottom hand, tugging for traction. Head heavy. Try to drop this bottom side of the ribs down. And then we'll switch. So we're taking hold of the meaty part of your right thumb and the webbing between the thumb and the index finger. So we're taking hold of that, and now we're tugging there for traction. So getting a little more of that inner wrist area. Breathe into the back ribs. Let that go. Left hand can plant out in front of you. Feel free to change your bottom arm for now. And let's slide the right leg, your bottom leg, in and out of Baddha Konasana. And just slide your knee toward you. And then re-extend the leg. Really try to find that your maximum comfortable, I mean, it could be uncomfortable, but it's not painful, flexion of the knee. So knee moving toward the chest. Next time the leg is straight, leave it that way. If you bent the bottom arm, straighten it again. Otherwise, it'll be in the way. And then we roll onto our belly, keeping the left leg bent. Let your forehead come all the way to the ground and slide your left knee away from you. And then whenever you want to, you might not want to move yet. You come back onto your side and try to angle this left knee a little bit more back behind you. Back and forth. Work with gravity as much as you can. Couple more times. And then the next time you are on your belly, you can stay there and completely come onto your belly. So legs stretching back, forehead down onto your stacked hands. Take hold of your elbows, tuck your toes under, push your elbows down, lift your head and chest up, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and send lots of energy through your legs, all the way down to your heels and pelvis into the floor. That's it. Slightly tuck your chin and move the back of your head back. So the head is in line with the rest of the spine, not looking up to create creases in the back of the neck. I'm also not dropping the head. Let's lower down, untuck your toes, bring your head down, relax your shoulders. And then extend your arms forward, join your hands in prayer. Bend your elbows so your fingers point up toward the ceiling. Lift head and chest, walk your elbows back, bring your thumb tips to your inner eye orbits. Secure your shoulder blades down your back. Root the pelvis. I kind of lift my belly, my abdomen away from the floor. And then maybe bend the knees. Squeeze the glutes for sure, either way. Lower the feet down. Tuck one arm underneath you and roll onto your back. Shavasana. What's here now? Let's plant the feet again. And let's do a little flutter breath, we'll call it. So it's like a soft Kapalabhati. We did this last week. So Kapalabhati is active exhalation, passive inhalation, and it's relatively fast. So it's like a short burst of air out the nose by drawing the abdominals back, and then inhale just comes on its own. But Kapalabhati is usually very forceful, relatively speaking. So we want to make it just softer. So whenever you're ready, you can give that a try. And then eventually letting that go. Bring your arms back to cactus. One more round of our spinal undulation. So exhale, press the back into the floor. Inhale, exaggerate your lumbar curve a little bit. Adding cranial nod. So head is on the ground. When you root the back down, slide the back of the head to lift the chin away from the chest. And then when you find your back bend, let the chin move toward the chest. Head still down. A few more times on your own. Exhale is where you root the back and lift the chin. Inhale is where you arch your back and draw chin toward chest. At the end of that one, whenever it is for you, return to Shavasana. Be the witness. Okay, when you feel ready to move again, you're going to get up. You can bend your knees, roll to your side. Long floor sequence. Take your time coming up so you can maintain equilibrium. We'll come into a downward facing dog. Take your time setting up, particularly with your hands, your fingers, how you're connecting to the floor, the positioning of your shoulders. Please don't sink your chest down below the shoulders. Instead, try a little lifting and broadening through the shoulder girdle. Push a little bit more through the thumb side of your hand, that meaty part we grabbed earlier. And do a little side bend with your head. So you can align it with your arms and then send ear toward one arm and then the other arm. And then just let the head go. Keep pushing the floor away. Spreading the shoulder blades away from your spine. Let's lower the knees down. Bring your left foot forward. And stack your right knee underneath your right hip. And drag your front foot back into the mat. Squeeze your right glute, rising up, reaching through the arms. You can have back toes tucked under. See how that feels for you. Hands down. Let's just step switch. So left knee is beneath the left hip. Right foot isn't moving, but you're imagining you could drag it back. Squeeze left glute. Rise up. Hands touch down. Let's step back to downward facing dog. You can stay right here, or we'll add some diagonal toe taps. So we really want the shoulder blades secure here. So shoulder blades, outer borders of the shoulder blades are moving down toward the floor. We don't want the shoulder blades to squeeze together. We want them to move apart. So you're in down dog, and maybe you're bringing your right hand to tap your left toes, and then coming back to down dog. The same thing, left hand tapping right toes, and so on a few more times. Still push the floor away with whatever hand is remaining down. Last round, if you're doing it. If not, last breath here in down dog. And then we'll lower the knees back down to the ground. Step the left foot forward again. Right knee directly beneath the right hip. And then from here, let's keep the right hand down and we'll bring left fingertips to left temple. Front foot is dragging back. Rotate to open. I'm not moving the hips at all. Unwind. Try that a few more times. You can really push your weight into your right hand a bit. Next time you open, either stay right here or stretch the arm up. An option to tuck the back toes under, or maybe they already were, lift the back knee off the ground. Squeeze your right glute either way. Try looking down at the ground. Unwind your spine, lower the knee down, and step switch. So right foot is forward. Left hand is down. Right fingertips to right temple. Rotate just from the spine, twisting to the right. And unwinding. Moving with intention, keep going. Head's just going along for the ride here. Next time you open up, stay here or reach the arm up. Option to lift the back knee off the ground. I've got quite a bit of weight in my left hand. Left glutes are squeezing. And let's try for gaze down. Unwind your spine. Step back, downward facing dog. Lower your knees down to the ground. Come down onto your forearms. Elbows beneath the shoulder. Hands shoulder width apart. Palms down. Press your inner wrist down into the ground. Thumb side of the hand pressing, all the fingers, all the knuckles connecting. Drive the elbows into the floor and really pay attention to what happens in the back when you do that and when you don't. So you could let it go and then drive the elbows into the floor and feel the shoulder blades protract and that lifting action between the shoulder blades. You could stay right there or tuck your toes under and lift your hips. Keep an eye on your elbows relative to your shoulders, that they're staying stacked versus letting the elbows come back behind the shoulders. Feel free to keep your knees bent. Some of you can walk your feet in a little bit. You can just let your head go here. It's almost all about pressing the elbows down. So when you can't do that anymore, it's time to bring the knees down. Let's all lower down into child's pose. Okay, we have one more strong pose for the shoulders. I mean, the whole body is involved, hopefully, but definitely emphasis on the shoulders. So let's come into plank pose, upper push-up position. You could stay right here. If this is a good challenge for you, then I would encourage that. So make sure each knuckle is rooted. You're rooting through the meaty part of your thumb, pushing the floor away, and just slightly softening between the shoulder blades. And my whole lower body is involved too. So I'm squeezing my glutes, pushing back through the heels, and the thighs are engaged. Gaze is down between the hands. So slight tuck of the chin and back of the head lifting slightly up toward the ceiling. So the head is in line with the rest of the spine. Either stay here, you take a break and then come back up again. I've already yapped away quite a bit of time. Or untuck your toes, still in plank. Now, imagine you could drag your hands back toward your feet and lower your hips, lower your pelvis just a bit. Keep dragging the hands back, lift the chest up, squeeze the glutes, legs are active. Lower the knees, hips toward the heels. Let's bring the arms alongside the body. Child's pose. Breathe into the back. Rise to sit on your heels. Feel free to sit a different way, or if you want to get a little footwork, you can keep toes tucked under and sit on the heels. We're going to do just a tiny bit more wrist work here, since we just weight bared quite a bit on the wrists. So these are wrist cars, controlled articular rotations. And let's do one hand at a time. Okay, so we'll have the arm out in front. And what I would like you to not do is any rotation anywhere except for in the wrist. So we'll do a fist because that'll just be a little bit easier. You can use your free hand to just monitor if you feel like you need to. So first, let's flex the wrist. It's this way. So the arm's going to stay straight the whole time too. And then from here, we're going to turn the hand out to the side, like you could show it to somebody over there, and then rotate down. That's it. And then rotate over. Here's where the forearm's going to want to rotate. Don't let that happen. Bring the wrist all the way around. Mine just did. Yeah. So let's all just hold the forearm and go around one more time. Get your biggest range of motion. It's just the wrist, everybody. It should feel like work, not just like a loosey-goosey rotation. And then once the wrist is flexed, go in the other direction. Your widest range of motion. Let's go around one more time this way. Mm-hmm. Good. And then release. We could do it with straight hands, but that's even harder. I thought we would make it a little more accessible to start. Okay, second side. So we'll make a fist, and just to help monitor what the heck's going on, use your other hand. You know, you want to be able to, it needs to do it eventually on its own. So we'll flex and then rotate. Let's rotate outward. Show your palm to somebody off screen. Rotate down. Really find that full range of motion. Here's where the forearm's going to want to say, I'll do it for the wrist. Don't let that happen. You won't get as much movement. That's okay. Rotate, turning inward. We did this kind of on the floor, right? We did this motion. Go around one more time. And then other direction. Go slow. So you've got that fist to kind of irradiate tension. Good. Let's get around 2 times on this side. Don't try not to bend the elbow. Great. And then you can release. Another way to practice this would be with a ball. Yeah, hold it, squeezing a ball. Okay. All right. And then here we are in some kind of a seat, and we'll interlace the fingers and lift the hands up. Try not to let the shoulders roll or the chest come forward. So shoulders are back and down. Yeah, if you're in tall kneeling, you can squeeze your glutes. Keep lifting your chest. Let your chin release down. And then gradually release and make your way into Shavasana. You might like a thin blanket underneath your head. Make sure your teeth are parted, your jaw's relaxed. And just rest. Come back into the river of breath. And bring your awareness into your body, your sacred vessel. As you feel ready, gradually make your way up to a seat. Let's take a breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you.